Hello everybody. Today we are going to deal with the topic teaching children with special needs. Under this, today's lesson is on Introduction to Special Education. The objective of this lesson is to understand the basic concepts related to the special education, and the second objective is to offer a comprehensive information about the trends in educating the special children. Concept: special education programs, they are designed for the students who are mentally, physically, socially and emotionally delayed. This aspect of delay can be broadly categorized as a developmental delay, and it signifies an aspect of the child's overall development that can be a physical, cognitive or scholastic skills which place them behind their peers. Due to these special requirements, the students cannot be met within the traditional classroom environment. The special education program and services adapt the content, the teaching methodology and delivery instruction to meet the appropriate needs of each and every child. The Individuals with Disabilities Act (IDEA). This act defines special education as specially designed instruction at no cost to the parents to meet the unique needs of the child with a disability. But still, what exactly is special education? Often it has an ambiguous definition. It is an umbrella term called special education. It identifies the academic, the physical, cognitive and socio-emotional instruction offered to the children who are faced with one or more than one disabilities. Special education is a form of instruction that is designed to meet the needs of the disabled student so that they can learn the same skills and information as any other normal child in a school. The term special education is used interchangeably with special needs, and the disabilities may be physical, emotional or behavioral disabilities also. The philosophy of special education. Now, we will see what is the philosophy of the special education. The general philosophy of special education is that all the people have the ability to learn regardless of their particular disabilities. The trend in public education has shifted from isolating the special education students in a separate classroom to mainstreaming them in a regular classroom for at least a part of a day and achieve the full integration and participation in the society of the people with disabilities by ensuring them an equal opportunity and access and excellence in education, employment and community living. So, that is the philosophy of special education. Special education is a meeting the unique needs of the child with a disability, adapting what a child learns and how he or she learns it. The special curriculum education is a process that makes individualized for each child. According to Kirk and Gallagher, when youngsters in the same classroom are remarkably different, it is difficult for the teacher to help them reach their educational potential without some kind of assistance. The help that the school devises for the children who differ significantly from the norm is called a special education. According to SLDK and Algozian, the special education is the instruction designed for the students with special learning needs. Some of these have difficulty in regular classrooms. They need special education to function in the school. Others generally do well in regular classrooms. They need special education to help them master additional skills to reach their full potential in short period. Special education is a evidence of society's willingness to recognize and respect to the individual needs of the student and the limits of special school program to accommodate these needs. So, these are the concepts related to special education. So, after having understood what is special education and why it is needed, now let us move on to see the goals and objectives in special education. The goal of special education is to provide appropriate educational programs as necessary and also the related services for each child with a disability requiring special education. The second goal is of specific education as same as those of educating the normal child, and to teach each child up to the level of the child's abilities. So, these are the goals of a special education. Now, let us look at the objectives. The first objective is to provide each child with special needs an opportunity to participate in a school program within a reasonable distance from the child's home or to receive appropriate and related services as required by the child with disability. And the second objective is to provide a coordinated and comprehensive instructional program starting from the kindergarten through his high school. And the third objective is to provide appropriate related services to the students with disabilities as required by them, and to encourage the parental involvement and understanding of special education program, and to provide an appropriate vocational services to the students with disabilities. Then the next objective is to provide a transition services and develop a post-secondary school plan for each student with disabilities. So, these are the objectives of a special education for a child with special needs. So, after having understood goals and objectives, let us now see what are the principles of special education. The principles of special education includes the zero reject policy, the non-discriminative identification and evaluation, free appropriate public education, and the least restrictive environment, due process safeguard, and parents and students participation. Now, we will look at each principle in detail. The first principle, as we said, it is the zero reject policy. The school must educate all the children with disabilities. No school can reject on the basis of the color, native, disability or mother tongue, etc. Rule against excluding any student. We cannot exclude no matter how severe the disability is present in the child. That is the zero rejection policy. The next principle is non-discriminative identification and evaluation. An appropriate evaluation should be provide information to be used to determine the child's eligibility for special education and related services and the educational needs of the child, and then set the curriculum according to the child's disability, without subjecting a child to unnecessary tests and assessments. So, the school is not authorized to subject the child to unnecessary tests and assessments, and the school requires to state and local agencies to evaluate the students such that the strength and weaknesses are revealed. FAPE. FAPE means free appropriate public education. Free education of each child with disability must be provided at the public expenses till the child completes 21 years of age. Appropriate education is to determine on the individual basis. The public school system must educate the students with disabilities and respond to the individual needs and help them plan for their future. The Education Act also guarantees that the children with disability will receive public education and included in the special education and their related services. The next principle is LRE, the least restrictive environment. LRE means the students with the special needs will be educated with the students who are not disabled. The rule requiring the schools to educate the students with disabilities with non-disabled students to maximize the extent appropriate One of the most important controversial element of the special education is to reform. The school may not remove the students from general education unless he or she cannot be educated successfully in that school. Then the next principle, as we already said, is the due process safeguard. The rights of the children with disabilities and their parents are to be protected. All information needed to make the decision about the provisions of FAPE, that is the free appropriate public education of the student, is provided to the parents of the children with disability. The parents have the right to inspect and review their child's educational records. Then the next principle is parents and students participation. Equal opportunities in decision making process should be given to the parents, and they have the right to receive the notice, the right to give the ideas for certain activities such as evaluation, change in the placement, release of information to others, and the right to participate in all meetings concerning their child's special education. So, these are some of the principles related to special education. So, after having understood what is special education, the goals, objectives and principles in special education, let us now move on to see the prospects of special education or inclusive education in India. The Government of India has launched SSA Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan for universalization of elementary education. The program is aiming to provide useful and relevant elementary education in the age group of the children from 6 to 14 years of age. This goal cannot be accomplished without including the children with special needs. SSA, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, has adopted more pragmatic approach to implementing the programs of inclusive education. The SSA Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan framework clearly states that Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan will ensure that every child with special need, irrespective of the kind, category, degree of disability, is providing education in an appropriate environment. SSA, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, will adopt zero rejection policy so that no child will be left out of the education system. It will also support a wide range of approaches, options and strategies for education of children with special needs. The inclusive education in SSA Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is a more expansive concept where the stress is to provide education to children with special needs in an environment which is most appropriate to their learning needs. These options vary from regular schools to bridge courses to prepare the child with special needs for schools and home-based education, mainly to either prepare the child with special needs or for schools or for their life in future. So, inclusive education is a process of strengthening the capacity of education system to reach out all the learners. It involves restructuring the culture, the policies, the practices in the school so that they can respond to diversity of students in their locality. For a school to be inclusive, the attitude of everyone in the school, including the administrative, the teachers and other students, should be positive towards the students with disabilities. Despite the promotion of inclusive education, the government is focusing on inclusive education as being including the children with disabilities in the education system, but not specifically the mainstreaming. However, inclusion in the education system is not same as inclusion in the mainstreaming. It is an arguable that special education is in fact regarded as superior in India because of its preferred status, and that it is inclusion in mainstream that is currently seen as a resource or constrained inferior alternative. The education paves foundation for growth and development of the children. The child with special needs, they skip milestones of development because of their disabilities, and they miss out important experiences, and thus they develop the secondary handicaps. Inclusion is not a new concept in India. We had been including children with disabilities in mainstream education unknowingly, and we are supporting them with some common sense methods. That is the reason we see a good number of people with disabilities included naturally into the society every here and there. As far as India is concerned, the general education itself and still has innumerable problems like the poverty, child labor, gender bias, etc. The teachers are ready to take up the challenges and maintain good rapport with the community, and they also have a say in a village. Those who are entering into the stream of education are groomed irrespective of their personal, social, economic and psychological limitations by the teachers. Each student of a teacher in rural areas are different from others. The teacher had to practice different strategies when encouraging the student to educate and retain the student in the system of education. So, they practiced holistic approach to ensure the all-round development of students. So, it is surprising to note that we ought to speak a lot on inclusive education in India. So, this is about the prospects of inclusive education in India. Then, after having understood what is special education, the goals and objectives, the principles and the prospects of inclusive education in India, let us now move on to see the magnitude of disability and the flexible inclusive education. While the national average shows that the gross enrollment in school is over 90%, less than 5% of the children with disabilities are in school. The majority of these children still remain outside the education system. The low turnout can be attributed to the causes such as difficulty in coping with general education demands and social reasons. Now, we will see how the inclusive education should be flexible. As a system, the inclusive education should be flexible. Its principle should be education in regular classrooms whenever possible. This needs for flexibility. It must be reflected in the methods and materials used to be given to the children with disabilities with the widest possible access to regular curriculum. When we are discussing the kinds of services needed, the starting point should always be what is best for the particular child with disability. Emphasizing the inclusive education does not rule out special schools or centers. They would still be required to cater to the children with profound and severe complex difficulties in needed for the more specialized or extensive help, including, for example, many deaf children or children with more or severe physical disabilities need a special centers in addition to the regular classrooms. This alternative should, however, not be considered unless the classroom placement cannot meet their needs. So, in line with the new policy of inclusive education, the special school begins to function more or less as a resource center. They involve in outreach program where they draw on their own vast experiences and knowledge. They link their activities with those of regular schools, the families and the communities. Inclusive education services allow the children with disabilities to stay with their family and go to the nearest school just like any other normal child. This circumstances is of vital importance to their personal development. Interrupting a disabled child's normal development may have far more bad sequences. So, the stress should be the parents have. They have the right to be involved in all the decision making concerns of the child. When there is cooperation, the parents can be found to be the important resources for the teachers as well as the schools. As a rule, there are number of practical problems that have to be solved before a child with special education needs goes to a school or takes part in school activities. For example, the arrangement it takes as a fairly simple, providing the coordinated local and unconventional initiatives should be stimulated. One should also remember that the child's schoolmates represent a valuable potential partner who is ready and is able to help to overcome some of these problems. The school reform needed which facilitates the learning of every child, which includes a child with special needs. The inclusion should be of holistic vision. Any child may experience a special need during the course of the educational years. Some children feel left out and they never enter the school or enter only for few years, or sometimes they are the repeaters. And finally, they become the dropouts, or more correctly pushed outs without their needs being half met. These children are vivid illustrations of the failure of the schools to teach rather than the pupils' failure to learn. A school system emphasizing education for all should ensure that the right of all the children to a meaningful education based on the individual needs and abilities. The regular schools will increasingly play a major role in making a provision for children with special educational needs available. Making the school system flexible and adopting an inclusive approach, however, proves to be the most challenging task of all, a task calling for deep reflection and discussion of two fundamental questions. What are they? What is the overall role of education, and what it is we want the children to learn in school? It might lead to the need for reforming the school system as a whole from the traditional examination to an inclusive and child-oriented approach. So, we can see that inclusion is a holistic vision process. After having understood the principles, objectives and the prospects of the special education and inclusive education, let us now move on to see why there is a need for inclusive education in India. More than 90% of the disabled children are found in rural areas of India. The special schools as well as integrated educational programs are only few in number and cannot serve all the disabled children. Therefore, inclusive education is needed to provide equal education opportunities to all the disabled children in their own location. The second need is, as far as the standardized models of integration are concerned, one special teacher serves to 8 to 10 disabled children of the same category. This approach is not practicable in rural areas. In most of the villages of our country, disabled children of different categories are present. Therefore, the disabled children have to depend on the general school for education. As a result, inclusion is inevitable for these children from rural areas. The third need is the extent of disability in each category ranges from mild to severe to profound cases. The mild and moderate cases are more in number than the severe and profound cases, and they depend on general education system. This calls for the involvement of general education so that the children who are currently left out of the schools and those who are at risk can be served. Therefore, in reality, India's focus should be on the need for inclusive education. In inclusive education, each child should have the opportunity to experience meaningful challenges, exercise choice, responsibility and interact collaboratively with others and be actively engaged in the developmental, academic and non-academic inter and intrapersonal activities as part of the educational process. The implementation of the plans, the programs, the actions, they depend upon the continuous community support, broad planning, training and evaluation. An adapted school environment is needed to suit the need of every child with disabilities. Some of the important points to be remembered in inclusion are sharing of the responsibilities of functionaries working at different levels, providing additional support to the child with special needs, development of collaborative framework to meet the additional needs and interests of the children with special needs, implications of various types of disabilities, the knowledge about the family and the social environment of the children with special needs, and the modifications needed in teaching and learning strategies in improving the professional competencies of the teacher so that they can deal with the child with special needs, and ensuring the community support and support of other functionaries working at different levels. So, today we have learned about the importance or what is the special education mean, and also we have seen the goals and objectives of special educations and what are the principles involved in special education. And after that we have seen the prospects of inclusive education in India and why inclusive education in India is very important. Hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you.